story begins with the deep and cold waters of Boston Harbor, and the year is 1954. Here, we see a ferry that is moving very fast toward an island. On this ferry is U.S. Marshal Edward Daniels, whom everyone lovingly calls Teddy, and with him is his new partner Chuck. Teddy is not feeling very well. Because of the ocean waves, he gets seasick and starts vomiting in the washroom. He looks at his face in the mirror, composes himself, and says, "Stay strong, Teddy. It's just a little while." Outside, the weather begins to worsen. Thick fog spreads everywhere. Chuck gives him water, and both of them come out onto the deck. From within the fog, an island slowly emerges, and the name of this island is Shutter Island. This is not an ordinary place. Rather, its very atmosphere is frightening. On this island stands Ashcliff Hospital, which is considered the most secure mental asylum in all of America. Criminals who are mentally ill and extremely dangerous are kept here. That is, the criminally insane. As soon as they step onto the island, they feel a strange tension in the air. Police guards are seen everywhere. These guards are holding large rifles and are looking at Teddy and Chuck with suspicion, as if they are enemies. After this, the deputy warden comes to receive them. The first thing he does is ask Teddy and Chuck for their weapons. Teddy hesitates at first, but the warden clearly says that according to hospital rules, weapons cannot be taken inside. Unwillingly, they have to surrender their guns. As they move closer to the hospital, the sight becomes even more terrifying. There are tall red brick walls, with barbed wire on top and electric fencing as well. It looks more like a high-security prison than a hospital. There are 3 buildings there: Ward A, Ward B, and Ward C. The deputy warden explains that Ward A is for men, Ward B is for women, and Ward C houses the most dangerous patients. To go there, permission from him or the chief doctor is required. After this, they go inside, where they meet Dr. John Cawley. Dr. Cawley is the head psychiatrist of the hospital. He appears very calm and composed, but there is a strange secrecy visible in his eyes. Dr. Cawley tells them why they have been called there. A female patient named Rachel Solando has disappeared from the hospital last night. Hearing this, Teddy is shocked. How can a mental patient disappear from such a highly secured island? Dr. Cawley explains that Rachel's story is very painful. Her father was killed in World War II. This trauma drove her insane. She drowned her 3 sons in the lake behind her house. But the strangest thing is that Rachel did not believe that her sons were dead. Her mind could not accept the truth. She believed she was still in her home and that her children were alive. She mistook doctors and staff members for milkmen or postmen. Teddy asks how she escaped. Dr. Cawley takes them to Rachel's room so they can see for themselves. Seeing the room, Teddy and Chuck are stunned. Strong iron bars are fixed on the window. The door is locked from the outside, and a pair of shoes is placed inside, meaning she escaped barefoot. But Teddy keeps thinking again and again, how did she escape from here? She couldn't have vanished into thin air. While searching the room, Teddy finds a small piece of paper hidden under the floor, with something written on it in pencil. On the paper, it says the law of 4, and who is 67? This is not an ordinary note. It is a riddle. Teddy asks Dr. Cawley what it means. Dr. Cawley says he doesn't know. Maybe it's part of her madness. But Teddy's detective instincts tell him that something is wrong. The law of 4, and who is 67? There are a total of 66 patients in the hospital. So who is patient number 67, whom Rachel mentioned? Teddy wants to interrogate the staff. Dr. Cawley takes them to the common room, where nurses are present. Teddy questions the nurses and orderlies, but everyone says the same thing, that they saw nothing. Teddy notices that all their answers sound rehearsed, as if they were already told what to say. Teddy finds out that Rachel was being treated by Dr. Sheehan. Teddy wants to meet him, but Dr. Cawley says that the doctor left on vacation early that morning. This does not sit right with Teddy. A patient is missing, and her doctor suddenly goes on leave. What a strange coincidence. As evening approaches, the weather worsens further, and signs of a storm appear. Teddy and Chuck are invited to dinner at Dr. Cawley's house. Another doctor is present there, named Dr. Naring, who is a German doctor. Seeing Dr. Naring ruins Teddy's mood. Teddy had fought in World War II and helped liberate the Dachau concentration camp. He had seen how Nazi doctors conducted experiments on innocent people. Teddy sees the same Nazi reflection in Dr. Naring. A heated argument develops between them. Dr. Naring tries to lecture Teddy on psychology, which Teddy absolutely dislikes. At night, Teddy and Chuck are given staff quarters to stay in. Teddy cannot sleep. He suffers from migraines. Whenever he sleeps, he has terrifying dreams. In his dream, he is in his house with his wife Dolores, who died 2 years ago in a fire. In the dream, ash falls from Dolores's back. She tells Teddy that Rachel is still here and hasn't gone anywhere. Letty's is also here. Suddenly, Teddy wakes up drenched in sweat. A violent storm is raging outside, with thunder and heavy rain. The next morning, Teddy reveals his true motive to Chuck. He says that he didn't come just to find Rachel. He came to find Andrew Letty's. Chuck asks in shock who that is. Teddy explains that Andrew Leddes was a maintenance man who set fire to his apartment, killing his wife Dolores. Teddy learned that Leddes was brought to Ashcliffe Hospital, but there is no record of him. Teddy suspects that illegal experiments are being conducted on patients here. The U.S. government is developing mind control drugs, and Andrew Leddes is their biggest experiment. Teddy wants to expose this place. Because of the storm, the entire island loses power. The electric fences stop working, causing chaos. Teddy and Chuck take advantage of this and plan to enter Ward C, where the most dangerous patients are kept. Ward C looks like a haunted cave, filled with darkness and screams. Teddy gets separated while wandering inside. He hears a voice from a cell and approaches it. Inside is a badly disfigured man named George, a former prisoner Teddy already knows. George warns Teddy that he has made a huge mistake by coming here. He explains that minds are manipulated here using drugs and food, water, and medicine. He says everything is a trap. Teddy's partner, his arrival, everything was planned. Teddy will never leave the island. George tells him that the truth is in the lighthouse, where lobotomies are performed. Teddy panics and runs. His mind spirals. He wonders if Chuck is also part of the conspiracy. He heads toward the hills leading to the lighthouse. He thinks he sees Chuck's body on the rocks, but when he reaches there, it's gone. He finds a cave, where a woman claims to be Dr. Rachel Solando, saying she was declared insane for questioning the experiments. She warns Teddy about psychotropic drugs and tells him not to go to the lighthouse. Teddy returns to the hospital, hallucinating badly. Dr. Colley tells him he came alone, there was never a partner. Believing Chuck is being lobotomized, Teddy swims to the lighthouse, attacks a guard, and confronts Dr. Colley, only to learn that Chuck is actually Dr. Lester Sheehan, his psychiatrist, and Teddy himself is Andrew Leddes, patient number 67. That is when it is revealed that he himself is Andrew Leddes, and from here the scene shifts into a flashback. The year is 1952. Andrew Leddes returns home from work. His house is located beside a lake. His wife Dolores is mentally ill. Andrew never paid attention to her treatment, because of which her condition kept getting worse day by day. Andrew himself was always drowned in alcohol. Dolores is sitting by the lake. She is completely soaked. Andrew asks her, "Where are the children?" Dolores replies that they are sleeping. This answer makes Andrew suspicious. He runs toward the lake. There, he sees the bodies of all three of his children floating in the water. Seeing this, Andrew completely breaks down. His entire world is destroyed. He pulls the children out of the water and cries uncontrollably. Then Dolores comes to him and says that they should bathe the children and lay them on the table. Hearing this, Andrew's mind feels like it is about to explode. Dolores then says, "Set me free." Andrew realizes that her mental condition has completely deteriorated and that she has gone too far to be saved. Because of this, he is forced, against his will, to do something that perhaps no one else could do. Andrew takes out his service revolver and, while crying, shoots his wife Dolores. From that moment onward, Andrew's mental condition completely collapses. He creates a new identity named Teddy Daniels so that he does not have to remember that because of him his children died and that he also killed his wife. Now the story returns to the present, where Andrew is crying uncontrollably. He says, "I remember everything now. I killed them. All of this happened because of me." Dr. Colley says, "This is exactly what we wanted. Andrew, we staged this entire drama so that you could overcome your fantasy and finally reach the truth. The board of directors wants to perform a lobotomy on you so that you cannot harm anyone. This was your last chance. If you create that false world again, we will have to perform the surgery." Andrew says that he is fine now and that he has accepted the truth. The next morning, Andrew and Dr. Sheehan are sitting on the hospital steps. The weather has cleared. Dr. Sheehan asks, "What's the plan now?" Andrew stays silent for a moment. There is a strange calm in his eyes. He says, "I don't know, Chuck, but I'm thinking about one thing: what's better, to live as a monster or to die as a good man?" Hearing this, Dr. Sheehan is shocked. He looks at Andrew. If Andrew called him Chuck, that means he has become Teddy again. He has returned to his false world. Dr. Sheehan signals no to Dr. Colley, who is standing at a distance. This means their experiment has failed. Andrew has gone insane again. Dr. Colley signals the orderlies. They bring the surgical equipment. Andrew stands up and calmly walks away with them. But while leaving, he gives Chuck one final look. There is a strange shine in his eyes. Here, the film leaves the audience with a question. Did Andrew truly go insane again? Or did he deliberately pretend to be insane because the truth was so painful that he did not want to live with it? He knew that if he became sane, he would have to live with the burden of his children and his wife. That is why he chose to die like a good man, instead of living as a monster. So what do you think about this movie? Do tell me in the comments below. With this, the story of this movie comes to an end. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, quickly subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like the video.